My name is Chris Foster from Icon Agency. Welcome to the next installment of Icon News. Today I'd like to talk to you for a few moments about a product called Trench Drain from Zurn Industries. Many different sizes, but today I'm going to talk about the most basic and popular size called the Zurn Z886, which is 6 inches wide, it's 80 inches long, and it's made out of smooth, high-density polyethylene. You would start by laying it down beside the trench and making sure that you allow a 4-inch breathing space around each side and the underneath of the trench. So once you've got your excavation done, you lay your trench out. You'd start at the end with the end outlet, which is obviously the deepest spot. So what you would do is obviously cut it to size, and on the side that's smooth, you'll see here, nice and smooth, it's made for this to fit. So once you've cut it down to size, you would use the hardware that is included, screw it to the trench, and then basically just put a bead of silicone adhesive on the inside for extra support. Now what you'll see, there's what they call a male side, so there's a piece where there's protruding, and then the smooth side. Okay, so obviously this is made to snap together. You put the smallest on the second one in, and there we go. There's your trench. We've already put the end outlet on the far end, so you would use your end, what they call the end cap, and basically the same thing. You would put it in here, cut it to size, using the screws that are included, connect it to the end of the trench drain, and put a bead of silicone around it. And you're ready to pour cement. Obviously you don't want the trench to move. So by having these supports on the trench like that, it will keep everything in place until the cement is poured around it and secured. There's a patented rebar clip. And what you would do is just take a number 4 rebar, place it in the clip, and you pound that into the ground so that it stabilizes the trench. We've talked about end outlet. There is also an option of what they call a bottom outlet. Depending on the application, obviously you'll have to determine that at that time. If you use the bottom outlet, determine on the run where that would be. Then you would take a utility knife and you would cut the fin so that you can remove that fin if it's going to be in the way of the location you need it to be. Then, once you've determined where you want it, as you can see, that fits just perfectly. You can put that on, again use the screws that are included, screw it to the system, then you just use a regular hole saw and drill a hole. This 4-inch comes also in 3-inch and 2-inch, the same as the end outlet. Now, there is enough channel, including 3 neutral pieces, to do up to 120 feet. We'll now talk about what they call a joint connector. If you find yourself in a location where you need to cut one of the trenches, what you would do is again trim it to size. The screws come included, and you would cut the 2 pieces of channel that you're joining together. Then this would just cradle underneath like so, and you'd cut it so that it just butts up to the underneath of the rim. Depending on the application, you may need some extra reinforcement. Now, if you're in a location where, say at the bottom of a parkade, a driveway in residential areas, where there's going to be a lot of vehicular traffic, this will probably be something you'd require. Now, this simply sits right on top of the channel, like so, and it just gives it that extra reinforcement. Once you've got that in place, then you need to decide what type of grate you require. This is called heel-proof polyethylene grate, and as you can see, it goes straight in. This is called a DGC, which is a ductile grate class C. Now classes run from A to F. Basically it will go anywhere from pedestrian, which is a class A HPP grade, up to a DGF, which is good for airports. This one is what they call a DGE. This, in most applications, unless you've got aircraft going over, will be adequate enough. If you look just inside the grate, you will notice little slots on both sides of the channel. What this is for is this. This is called a grate lockdown kit. All you do is you place this inside those slots, like that. Then with the bolt and washer included, place it through. Once you tighten that down, that grate will not move. Thank you for joining in on this segment of Icon News.